We're hosting a fall camp out at a campground we've never been to. We're gonna head down a day early and scope this place out. I don't know what we're gonna do if this place doesn't work out, so we don't have a backup plan. All right, y'all, let's go see what this campground is all about. This is so much better than I expected. Joe and I are parking our van right there. Plenty of room for more vans to circle the wagon or any other rigs that want to show up. And then right across from us are more campsites. I'm pretty excited to be at this lake. I've never been to Lake Guntersville. People have been raving about it, and so far I am not disappointed.
Now that we have camp set up, you know what it's time for. Coffee. So part of the camp out is going to be Kate is hosting a coffee bar. I know it sounds strange that I'm not hosting a coffee bar, but this is the new toy that we picked up. It is an espresso machine, and I've actually really been enjoying the coffees out of this thing, so this is what I'm gonna make. Cheers. So foamy.
Kate's coffee bar will have things besides coffee. For example, I will be making matcha lattes. And if you come to my coffee bar, you can have a selection of wafers. I'm very excited. I love hosting, it's fun.
So the other unknown about this camp out is how many people are actually coming. Kate put it on our Instagram page, and we've gotten a handful of confirmations, but for all we know, we could end up with 50 vans that show up, because a lot of times people don't necessarily RSVP. Joe and Kate here, inviting you to our fall camp out at Lake Guntersville, Alabama, October 4th to October 6th. Join us for campfires, cookouts, and hang out with the community. After the camp out, we'll caravan to the Adventure Van Expo in Chattanooga for more fun, food, and friends. Now the only thing left to do is wait and see who all shows up.
Time to set up Kate's Cafe. And we had an early arrival.
Shortly after coffee, the second van rolled in and Kate went right to work directing them on where to park.
You brought both pups!
Hey, how's it going? It's going good. When Evan pulled up in the new 2024 Beast, another beast by the name of Winston was there to say hello. Shortly after Chuck pulled up, the boys and I went to work supervising an awning adjustment. There has to be a joke in here somewhere. The next arrival was Scott from Go Small, Live Large, and after our hellos, we decided to break out the bourbon. Kate went to work grilling up some Kaneka, and then I got the privilege of handing it out to our very appreciative guests. As more campers trickled in, we got the solo stove fired up, libations poured, and Winston was tasked with observing Todd trying to teach the less coordinated of us how to ride his one wheel. Of course, there's always the one person who makes us all look bad. As night began to fall, Chris and Melissa arrived with the motorcycle in tow, and then the last of our campers, Darlene and Jim, arrived in her new van, and we all told lies around the campfire. Kate's coffee bar was in full swing the next morning, getting us all caffeinated for the day. Evan, Kim, and Bob all got on their paddle boards to explore the lake, with Evan again making it look all too easy, while I got on my motorcycle to lead Chris on a ride around northern Alabama. I took us to Little River Canyon, which had some amazing views to go along with the Great Road. While Chris and I were out exploring, the The rest of the pack headed out in a caravan to go explore Cathedral Caverns State Park. So this is Melissa. Kate and I met her and her husband last year at the Adventure Van Expo in Chattanooga that we are going to tomorrow. And we've just become fast friends at some of these campouts. And I wanted Melissa to explain to you why she's coming to these campouts, because when we were on the phone with her, she had something very profound to say, and I want it to come from her mouth to your ears.
Coming to these campouts brings so much community to our lives. You know, we work full-time, so we're not van lifers, but it's so important that if we don't get away from work, we're gonna die at work. We're gonna die working. Coming out and spending time away from work gives a healthy balance between life and work. And if you don't take the time to do that, you're gonna just end up working the rest of your life. And I think that's what we have found, is that we worked so much and so hard for so long that all we knew was work. And until we got our van, did we realize that coming out to all of these weekend adventures, or maybe even during the week adventures, just helps us to recharge a little bit, personally and sometimes professionally. So when I was talking with Joe and Kate the other day, it was something that we just felt like we had to do, because there's only just so much time in your life.
Well, despite the rainy morning, Kate's Coffee Bar is still a success. I will say that it has been one of the highlights for me of this camping trip. Now, this has been a fantastic camp out. Kate and I love the community, and we've done a few of these. This is going to be the last one for the year because we're kind of getting out of the season. But that said, if y'all are at all interested in joining us for one of these campouts, and no, you don't need a storyteller, any van, any camper, whatever, tents are even welcome, then join our newsletter, because that's how we send out updates and things, and also Instagram. So that is it for the video. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will put a link to our newsletter down in the description below. Bye. This video is sponsored by Storyteller Overland. My second book, Tales from the Open Road, The Adventures and Misadventures of RV Living, is now available for sale on Amazon. Read all about the ups and downs of our first year and a half living on the road full time.